Hello, everyone. Greetings from Germany. I'm sitting here recording this just a little bit south of Munich in the beautiful mountain countryside. When the Honorable Prime Minister asked me to speak to all of you at GPAI, I reflected on the recent advances in AI, of course, but also on several decades of work that I have done in AI. And on the basis of that, I wanted to share a few thoughts with all of you. As we look at the time in AI, obviously not a day goes by when we don't see some major advance or the other. I was just looking at today a couple of LLMs that have been released earlier today, which have remarkable achievements. A couple of days ago, Google launched Gemini. So every day there is some new development or the other in AI. And of course, as practitioners of the field, it behooves us to really look at what this means for all of us, what we can do with it, what kinds of applications we can build with this, applications that can impact, countless walks of life, countless industries, countless ways of working. But today, as we get started on GPAI, I wanted to go beyond the applications and look at how we can advance the state of the art itself from India and the world. And when we look at AI today, there are three main limitations, three main challenges or issues with it that I see. And my focus of my talk today is on these three areas of improvement. The first one is around hallucinations. As we all have seen, systems based on LLMs have a tendency to hallucinate. In fact, when we think about it, the way LLM technology, the way transformer technology works, these LLMs only hallucinate. It is a good way to think about this is not that they sometimes hallucinate, but that they only hallucinate, they only produce hallucinations. And often the hallucinations are actually meaningful to us, the users. They are extremely fluent at it because of the vast amounts of data that they have been trained on. But indeed, they are only hallucinating. They don't have internal representations of what is going on, of the phenomenon that are causing the things that they are talking about. And so this presents a tremendous area of improvement of making these systems reliable. And there is vast amounts of work that is going on in there. And I think, especially in India, this is something that we really need to focus on. The techniques to improve LLM technology from this point of view of hallucination, there are many. There is the reinforcement learning with human feedback. There is work on improving the outputs, checking the outputs using other LLMs or using other techniques. There is work on restricting the domains of LLMs to make sure that we have a better understanding of some of these domains so that we can check the outputs. Many different ways like that. And there is a tremendous amount of work happening in this area and even more work that needs to be done in this area. How the governments are providing guidance around the use of LLMs and in fact, use of applications based on LLMs. Just a couple of days ago, the European Union has launched an AI Act that makes significant progress towards providing some of these guardrails. And applications based on LLMs, they need a lot of management and control and ways of ensuring the accuracy of these applications. My own company, Vian's work, Vian.ai, our work is on building applications that are trustworthy, that are safe, of generative AI. Our product Hila, when you can play with that, Hila.ai, takes a lot of significant advances towards eliminating hallucinations and delivering trustworthy, safe applications of generative AI. So I think a lot of work needs to be done in this area of removing hallucinations. And I'm really excited to see how we can make progress on that, both at this event, but also in general. The second area in which vast amounts of improvement need to be made in generative AI is around performance. NVIDIA is the leader today in providing infrastructure for running generative AI. Bill Daly from NVIDIA recently gave presentations where he talked about 1,000x improvement in single chip inference performance over the last 10 years. 1,000x improvement. This is astounding. And despite that astounding progress, it is still incredibly expensive to train these big models, to even fine tune the big models. And running inference on large scale is also very, very expensive. So there's a lot of work going on around improving the performance. Many companies are building chips. Last week, AMD announced a new chip. In the near future, over the course of 2024, you will see many companies launch new processors. But even when we go beyond these new processors, new GPUs, there is still vast amounts of work that needs to be done. If you look at us as information processing machines, I mean, we basically do our intelligence in about 2,000 calories in a day. That's about a 100-watt light bulb. So when we think about it just from a power consumption or from an energy efficiency point of view, we are vastly more efficient than today's systems. Many orders of magnitude, at least 10 orders of magnitude more efficient. So many zeros need to be still removed from that. So I think this is a very important area to focus on, especially in India, is finding low-cost ways, finding ways to improve the performance of generative AI. And the third, perhaps the most important dimension in which AI needs to be improved today is talent. There are far too few people who understand these technologies. Far too few. I came here to Germany together with Sebastian Thrun, the founder of Udacity, and we were discussing the fact that probably there are presently less than 100,000 people who understand this technology intimately. And this really, out of 8 billion people on the planet, we really need to find ways to improve that state of the art. And I think India has to play a fundamental role in ensuring that a lot of people understand this technology. A lot of people are hands-on with this technology. You know, it is built by people like us. It is not falling from the skies, and it is not the domain of a chosen few. Anyone can work on this. And we really need to build massive amounts of talent around this. We need to create playgrounds for people to experiment, to play with systems, to build systems, to learn about systems, so that this number goes up to millions, tens of millions, even hundreds of millions. As the Prime Minister has talked about 1 billion Atmanirbhar Indians, entrepreneurs. I think this is the way in which we can really serve the advancement of society with better ways of building AI, is by first building the talent around AI. So those are my three main requests, not only for this conference, not only for India, but for the field in general, is to focus on those three areas of improvement. The hallucination reliability problem, the cost performance problem, and especially the talent problem. And the idea of building out the talent of tens of millions of people in India who are proficient in AI is not so that we can all make a living. A great teacher of my life once told me the difference between making a living versus making a life. When you make an AI system, you're not really making a life. ChatGPT and Bard are not alive. But by building AI technology, purposeful AI technology that improves our human condition, we are indeed making lives, our own lives. And this would be so cool to work on. Thank you so much, and I wish you the best of luck with this event.